This is a Power 98.7 podcast. Now we're talking. Subscribe to Power 98.7 podcasts in iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. There's more on power987.co.za.
Our Entrepreneurship Corner this morning, we're speaking to Tim Akinnusi, who's the founder and CEO of MortgageMarket. And Tim is actually a former managing director of ASA Home Loans. And prior to that, he was the executive head of sales and client value management at Nedbank. So we're talking a banker, basically a former banker rather, who has gone and created another business model in the form of MortgageMarket, and we're going to be speaking to him this morning. And MortgageMarket is really just looking to revolutionize how consumers shop for home loans and how lenders could reach new customers. Tim, good morning, and thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Tim, let's speak about MortgageMarket. And I think I really want to just spend some time in terms of the value add that is, that came from you having spent some time in banking. I think you might have been at the forefront or front line of some of the experiences that, the pain points that the customers face when they're applying for a home loan, for example, or some of the challenging issues that might have led to the business model in itself.
Yeah. So MortgageMarket is a marketplace for home loans. It gives customers direct access to the top 5 banks in South Africa. And then the benefit for doing so is that they get to compare the entire market in a very simple, transparent, and controlled manner. And for the pleasure of doing that on their own, we then pay them back up to 25,000 Rand for self-serving, basically. And the real pain point that we're addressing here is giving customers the ability to really compare value, right? Really compare value, because you can never really say you've got the best deal until you've actually compared it to something else in an orange-to-orange comparison. And so that's what we give customers. And, of course, a tangible reward back in up to 25,000 Rand back is a significant amount of money that will help customers through a process that is quite a costly one. When you're acquiring a home, there are a number of costs involved in it. And so being able to be in a position where the customer, by simply applying on their own, can get this money back is what is value added for us.
So, and what I'm hearing, and I'm just going to try to play it back to him, what I'm hearing is that the operational cost from a customer having to do the home loan process the same way that the ordinary way that we're used to in terms of walk into a bank or start an application online, there's quite a number of costs that are attached to that. Now, your business model aims to eradicate some of those costs, and essentially put back that cash into the customer's pockets.
Yeah, absolutely. So we exist as an origination channel. Origination has been around for the past 15 to 20 years. And basically the traditional model there is that you have a broker that takes an application, a physical application, and manually captures it on behalf of the customer and submits that to the bank. What we've done over here is that we've infused technology into this whole process by actually giving customers a platform that's simple to use and convenient and secure to use. And then we're paying customers a portion of that revenue, a portion of that commission back to them, because they're essentially doing the work themselves. And that's where the innovation is about the platform, is the ability to connect customers directly with the banks through digital technology, and of course then harnessing that to give them real money back into their pockets.
Now, the past couple of weeks, or the past couple of months, rather, on this entire period, if I could put it that way, the past 3 months, that has seen, a drop, for example, in the interest rate and subsequently then property or purchasing or home loan applications, rather, becoming quite a topical note to look out for. In terms of, at MortgageMarket, have you seen what do you call this, an increase in the queries, as well as, customers willing to do and wanting to do some of these applications themselves to not only take advantage of the drop in interest rate at this particular point in time? And I really want us to sort of not look at it as though it's because my fear here is that people constantly look at it that way, as though there's not going to be an increase in future. But have we seen an increase in customers sort of wanting to take the self-service route, which obviously and evidently has financial benefits?
Yeah. So, look, the idea that customers can do a lot of serious and important things online, has been around for a long, long time. I mean, we go back to the time when SARS e-filing launched. I mean, you're doing your taxes on your own. That's a very important thing. And it's shown that if customers are given the platform to execute any sale or task online, they'll be able to do it quite conveniently, right? So off the back of this, back in 2012, I actually built Nedbank's first online application platform in South Africa for home loans. And that platform was receiving, by the time I left, close to 1,000 applications a month where customers were self-serving on their own. And that was really the idea that sparked why I said, if that could work for one bank, then it could work for an entire multitude of lenders.
Absolutely.
So this ability for customers to do important things on their own has been very strong. But of course, COVID-19 has meant that for the longest time during this period, we've had to rely on online services to get things done. And it's actually forced or furthered the agenda of the digital revolution in South Africa. It's forced it upon every one of us, right? And so customers, have benefited from the fact that we're already an online business. So for us, in theory, this pandemic had no impact on our business because we're a cloud-based business. So our ability to submit applications to banks was unaffected. But of course, what was affected was the idea that an estate agent still had to show this house that the individual wanted to bond through a bank, still had to show them this house. And when that sort of was significantly diminished, that's only when we saw a slowdown. But in the last couple of weeks, we've started to see a flurry of individuals coming onto our platform to do a pre-approval. So we also offer a capability where clients can get a 2-minute pre-approval literally on online, and we would tell them exactly what the 5 banks are likely to give them for their home loan. So we've seen a significant spike in that. We've seen people get pre-approved. We've seen them take an interest in understanding what their credit record is and how much they can afford. And so that for us is the first start of the home buying journey, where customers can now go out and shop with confidence with an estate agent to say, I know that MortgageMarket has certified me and that I'll be able to get this home loan for this amount of money when I eventually make an application online to them. So that's where we're seeing a lot of the activity, and it's looking very positive because interest rates, like you mentioned, has dropped quite significantly. And so it's closed the gap between what you would pay for a rental unit versus what you'd be paying for a house that you would fund on a monthly basis for your installment. So because that gap has narrowed so significantly, it really makes it a strong case for you to buy the property that you're renting currently or buy something that is similar, right? So if I had to give you an example, it's pretty much like if you need something on a daily basis and you had to rent it for 1,000 Rand, right now that same product that you're renting will cost you 1,200 to buy. So it's very difficult to ignore that incentive to simply move into the buying pool.
No, absolutely. And I want us to just go through the point of the kickoff point with MortgageMarket in terms of the customer approach. I mean, generally, how do you get customers approaching you? Is it through an online platform as well? Is there a call, a sort of a call format that the customer sort of approaches with, and then you kick off the process from there on?
Well, quite simply, we advertise digitally at the moment. So individuals just have to get onto our website. It's mortgagemarket.co.za. And on the homepage, they'll already see the ability to do a 2-minute pre-approval or the ability to simply apply directly to us, right? So our entire platform is digital. We are the only company in South Africa that has an end-to-end, fully digital application platform and process. So everything is fully automated from the time they create a profile to to the time they complete the application form, uploading their supporting documents, and then hitting the submit button. That goes straight into each bank's processing environment, and the engagement between the bank and the customer happens in a secure manner or online. They then make a choice on which bank's quotes they want to go with, and they notify the bank online, and the bank will then contact them to do the attorney registration process. Thereafter, we pay them back up to 25,000 Rand, depending on the size of their home loan. So on a 1 million Rand home loan, customers will receive 5,000 Rand back, and on a 5 million Rand home loan, they'll get 25,000 Rand back, guaranteed.
Sure, and that that's what we're talking about when we unpack value-added services, which is the direction that we're taking in terms of propositions within I want to call it financial institution, sector. We don't want to call it banking anymore because the face of banking has absolutely changed, and hence the likes of MortgageMarket, for example, is able to introduce MortgageMarket as a value proposition to the customer for home loans. Tim, if people would like to get a hold of you and would like to understand more of how the business model works, how can they do that?
Or just go onto our website. It's mortgagemarket.co.za. The name says it all, really. It's a marketplace for mortgages. So it's mortgagemarket.co.za.
Tim, we absolutely appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
That's Tim Akinnusi, who's the founder and CEO of MortgageMarket.
You've been listening to a Power 98.7 podcast. For more podcasts, visit power987.co.za or subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.